Welcome back. I'm Logan Kopp, and we're going to play What's the Word? First, I got some errors and omissions to roll over. We got Jonathan Dwyer. He did get picked up by the Steelers then. He is officially back on the team. And also, they weren't at Baltimore with the Broncos. They actually ended up going to Colorado to play in Denver because the Orioles game. So we'll start right now with our questions. We got the Patriots should feel blank about their close victory on Sunday. All right, Chris, we're going to go to you first.
I said the Patriots should feel concerned about their win on Sunday. I know they pretty much, still got the victory, but it's kind of like, for years they pretty much just ran roughshod throughout the entire AFC, conference.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you look at yesterday, when Danny Amendola was pretty much the only consistent target that Tom Brady's throw to. Zach Sudfeld, when you thought about him, you're like, Gronk is out, Aaron Hernandez is, about to get, convicted and go to jail. You think that he was going to probably have a big day, but, he pretty much put up a big fantasy donut. So I really think, their offense is really a huge concern for them, and not to mention their defense still has a lot to be desired.
Yeah, Chris, my word is the Patriots should feel embarrassed about their close victory on Sunday. They almost lose to E.J. Manuel, rookie starting quarterback. This rookie class was not the same rookie class as last year. The quarterback's the big-name guys. E.J. Manuel, I thought, was a reach by the Bills in the first round. Throws up, like I said earlier, 150 yards. To be honest, you thought C.J. Spiller was going to have a big day. He had only about 55 yards. So it's not like they ran the ball effectively. It's just that the Patriots turned the ball over, and their lack of weapons in the end only let them have a 2-point win.
All right, we'll go on to the next question then. Peyton Manning's Thursday night performance was blank. All right, Ryan, can you elaborate on that one?
All right, Logan. So Peyton Manning's Thursday night performance was epic. 7 touchdowns, a 48-point fantasy day, the third most ever. Just a ginormous day. Everyone had a big game except for the backs because Peyton Manning just threw it around so much. 60 attempts for Manning. The Ravens defense did not know what to do. He was going short. He was going deep, throwing everybody. Demaryius had a big day. Julius Thomas coming out party. Epic performance by Peyton Manning.
All right, you said epic. I said expected. Peyton Manning's performance on Thursday was pretty much expected. When you look at Peyton Manning, he has 4 MVPs. He has a Super Bowl ring, arguably the greatest quarterback in regular season quarterback to ever play the game. When you look at the weapons, Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, then we add Wes Welker and Julius Thomas into the mix. 7 touchdowns is pretty much going to be, expected, especially, with, the Ravens defense going in transition year, losing a Ed Reed and losing a Ray Lewis. He just pretty much just had his way, and I kind of pretty much thought it was going to be expected. Not 7 touchdowns expected, but, something along those lines.
So you're expecting Peyton Manning to throw 7 touchdowns against any defense he plays every single week, and they put up 49 points.
When you look at it's Peyton Manning, and when you have those 3 wide receivers, not to mention you have a tight end like Julius Thomas, having throwing 6 to 7 touchdowns a week isn't pretty much out of the ordinary, especially when they don't have a running game, pretty much to speak of.
I feel like from now on, though, they're going to have to establish the run eventually because Peyton Manning took a lot of big hits Thursday night against the Ravens. He's a guy that has stayed healthy most of his career, but, if he keeps taking big hits, he's going to get hurt eventually, and then that team's going to go in the tank.
Yeah, true that. Then again, also, the 07 Patriots didn't have a run game to speak of as well.
All right, for me, though, that one would be vengeance. I think after the playoffs last year, Peyton Manning had to do something that was better than that. All right, so the next word is Pittsburgh Steelers fans blank after watching the Titans win. Chris?
They should feel sickened, absolutely sickened. When you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers coming into this year, the division was pretty much wide open. The Ravens pretty much took a hit, even though I personally picked them to win the division. The only real threat you really have now is pretty much, the Bengals. But even still then, last year they still had one of the best defenses in the league. It's just their offense needs to pick up the speed. But then when I watched their offense yesterday, it was just egregious. It was horrible. Big Ben cannot keep taking those hits. The offensive line cannot protect him. And more importantly, they have too many running backs, and none of them can do anything. It was just awful.
Well, Chris, my word kind of goes with your word. You said sickened. I said Pittsburgh Steelers fans vomited after the Titans won yesterday. Like, are you kidding me? Terrible towels waving in week 1, and they get beat by the lowly Titans. Jake Locker almost got beat up by Fitzpatrick this year. Like, seriously vomited all over the field, everywhere. Like it was so bad.
And it's not like even Chris Johnson even had a big day on the
Chris Johnson only averaged 2.5 yards per carry. Like they literally didn't do anything. All they did was kick field goals the whole time, and then Big Ben had a turnover. They took advantage of it and scored a touchdown.
He got sacked like 6 times. It was just ridiculous.
The Steelers eventually need to get some offensive linemen in here. They draft him in the first round, but I mean, Pouncey got hurt. You know, other guys are getting hurt. They got to get a line if they're going to become a team again.
All right, moving on to the next one. We got Anquan Bolden is blank that he was traded to San Fran. All right, Ryan, start it off.
All right, so Anquan Bolden is ecstatic that he is traded to San Francisco. I mean, look what San Francisco did yesterday. Colin Kaepernick, 400 yards passing. He went from a Raven offense and a Raven team that got absolutely blown out by the Broncos to a team that beats one of the better NFC teams in the league, in the Packers. I mean, Anquan Bolden, he could have a ginormous season here. He could have an old Cardinals season when Kurt Warner was throwing him the football. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up 1,500 yards. Or the last couple seasons with the Ravens, if he touched 1,000 yards per season, it was a good year for him.
Listen, you said ecstatic. My word is pretty much a center. I said relieved. I mean, Joe Flacco's not a bad quarterback, but he's also not elite. I think finally now, Anquan Bolden finally has a quarterback that finds ways to give him the ball more effectively, not to mention the style, not to mention the 49ers are more important to open up, the playbook, air it out a lot more, not just depending on just, pounding the rock with Frank Gore. I mean, especially right now with Crabtree, Manning, and Hurt. I mean, Bolden is going to get a lot more looks, especially on third down. 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. The guy was killing it. Especially my fantasy team. And I really think that it's pretty much, it's pretty much to set the tone for the rest of the year. I think he's going back to like 2007 form, like in the Kurt Warner, Larry Fitzgerald days. I really think this is not going to be the first time you see a performance like this.
Especially Chris, Anquan Bolden needed to step up after Michael Crabtree went down. They didn't know exactly what they had. They lost Randy Moss. They also, pretty much a lot of it was on Vernon Davis, who was going out and playing a lot more in the wide receiver set than in a tight end set.
All right, next word. Adrian Peterson was thinking blank after his first carry goes for 79 yards and a TD. Ryan.
So Adrian Peterson was thinking record-breaking with a hyphen in there, so that's a one-word situation. He was thinking record-breaking. For his first carry, he goes for 79 yards. I mean, Adrian Peterson, his prediction before the season was that he was going for 2,500 yards. I mean, we'll see if that actually happens. The chances of that are pretty slim. No one's ever done that ever in the league. So if he goes for 2,500 yards, that would be tremendous.
I say Adrian Peterson was thinking, typical. Just another day in the office for all day. I know first week, first run, just bam, just right there on the a very good front four for the Detroit Lions. Just another day in the office for Adrian Peterson. However, he really didn't do much after that. I mean, just getting 18 yards pretty much for the rest of the game. After that, big 70-plus yard run. And
the thing about it is the Vikings, they are Adrian Peterson. Christian Ponder, another 3-interception game. He is absolutely terrible. And the Lions, actually surprising. Reggie Bush coming out party, has a ginormous game. The Lions are just going to put up a lot of points on people. The question is, can they actually stop somebody? Can they be possibly a wild card team this year in the NFC?
Yeah.
All right. Great job, guys. All right, Ryan, I think I'm going to have to give you the victory on that one just because of the whole vomiting thing. I'm not sure about the whole record-breaking, hyphenated, but I'll give it to you anyway. Good try, Chris. All right, so to end this, we're going to have our segment of Who You Got. So Monday Night Football, we know you guys are Eagles fans, but we got Eagles and Redskins. Who you guys got? Ryan?
Well, I'm taking the Redskins. I don't want to take the Redskins, but the Redskins are going to run the ball at will on the Eagles like they did last year. I don't think RG3 will be in the Reed offense as much as he was last year, but Alfred Morris is going to have a dominant game. If you have him in your fantasy league, you're going to expect about 25 points tonight. I think the Redskins win 31-24 over the Eagles.
Man, I think that this game isn't going to be a blowout as much as people thought it would be. I think it's relatively going to be a shootout. And you know what? I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to pick the Eagles. I think Michael Vick is going to, actually try and go out and, pretty much, just show people that I'm not just, just that one-hit wonder back in 2010. I think Deshaun Jackson's going to have a big game. I think LaShawn McCoy, Chris Polk, and Bryce Brown's just going to run the ball very effectively.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Chris. All right, that's for In the Zone. Thanks, guys. I'm Logan Kopp. Ryan, Chris, out.